What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fortress. I hope you're having a good day today because, yeah, wasn't expecting to come on tonight. I did a podcast earlier and it actually was faster than I was expecting. Therefore, I'm coming on. Originally, I actually wasn't even going to do the show today. I was going to do it Wednesday, but Heesh is busy. What's his name? Uchi might come on, but he's streaming right now. So what I thought I was going to do, because the original topic was, my original topic for this show, which I'm going to probably save for the next show, is about the success of Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I want to talk about, can Avengers Doomsday actually break 3 billion? Because I'll be real with you, with the hype that I've seen, and with the fact that it's already projected to make something in the neighborhood of 500 million opening weekend and a billion, I think it said $1.5 billion opening week, like from Thursday to Thursday. This is going to be a big movie, bro. It's got the best chance ever to beat Endgame, although it won't be easy. And I don't know how Avatar can top it. And then you've also got the whole Secret Wars. That in and of itself might. But I think that the Doomsday trailer was one of the best trailers they ever put together, because there's a lot of people that are actually went from not being hyped at all to being like super hyped over this thanks to that trailer. And that's what a trailer is supposed to do. It's supposed to get you super hyped. There's still going to be one more trailer coming, so we'll see how that one goes. But I'm seeing a big turnaround now where people are starting to get back into the MCU, and as the hype continues to build for Doomsday. So what we're going to do tonight is the supposedly No More Mutants, through the Russian hackers, have leaked the Avengers Doomsday plot. I'm going to read it with you guys and give my thoughts and possibly debunk it. I haven't read it yet, right? But I'm curious about it. Now, if you're wondering, well, why would you ruin the movie for yourself? I'm really not ruining the movie for myself, because even if this ends up being true, it's not really like how it's going to portray itself on the screen. You know what I mean? It's really not. So, like, let me get the chat up real quick. There we go. So, and I also think they're missing things. All these plot leaks are always missing something. And there's reshoots coming out now. So, I have questions. So, I would not just believe this. So, let's see. We're going to look at that here in just a minute. Good Life J dropped in with super chats. Boy, oh boy. That's your first super chat. Yeah, by the way, this is the stream you can talk about spoilers. Remember how you asked me about it the other day? This is the stream to talk about them. This is why I made this stream, to discuss spoilers here and leaks. Yes, I tagged you on Twitter. I did not see that tag. I can't see your tags unless I'm following you. Usually, it depends. No, Uchi, he be making you respect women. I do respect women. Well, some of them. Some don't deserve to be respected. It just depends, all right? It's a case-by-case situation. But it's late tonight. I'm not expecting a big audience here. I want to look at this Avengers supposed plot leak. And let's see what they're saying about Doomsday. So, Good Life Jay says, yes, sir, but I want to listen to you mostly. I am ready. Okay, we're going to get into it now. So, once again, I want to let everybody know, I don't know if these are legitimate leaks. Some of this might actually be, here's what I'm going to tell you. I do believe that some of this is legit, because sometimes what they do is they take what's in the trailers and just put logic and put two and two together. And that's how they're able to write these things up. But that doesn't mean it's actually a real leak. It's just somebody who's coming up with a story that they think makes sense. Or maybe it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you can spot plot holes in these things. By the way, check out my new Doom shirt, bro. Tell me this isn't the most alpha. Tell me this is not the most alpha shit you've ever seen, bro. On the throne, bro. Look at him. Look at him, bro. On the throne. Look at that shit, bro. Alpha. Fucking alpha. Alright. I can relate with Dr. Doom a lot, bro. Especially having a hideous face that needs to be covered. Anyways. No, wait. Let's see. What's, let me play with the chat here a little bit. No, hold on. I gotta make the chat more tall. Where is the chat? There is the chat. Presets, I don't need that. Default font? Nah, it's not necessary. Logo. Fade overlays on show hide. I don't know. Oh, that's what that does. Yeah, I don't need to do that. We don't need to fade anything. Hold on. I'm trying to get it so that like the chat is. Damn, I got a super sticker. All right, thank you for the super sticker, Kavid God. I appreciate you. It showed up red for some reason, bro. I guess super stickers are red now. I don't know. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. So let's go ahead and start here. This is from, as I mentioned, No More Mutants. This is supposedly the leak for Avengers Doomsday, right? From the Russian hackers. That's where this is supposedly coming from. So, we're going to look at it and let's see how much of this is real and how much of this isn't. Yes, Marvel fans, unlike Dragon Ball fans, don't talk shit about leakers. I have not watched Lanterns yet. I probably should. I have reviewed 2 of the DCU stuff. Superman and Supergirl. So, let's get into it, alright? Let me make it nice and big. Pause. Alright, ready? Here we go. Avengers Doomsday. Here are the details of the official plot. Again, we're going into it now. I titled the stream spoilers, so we'll see. Oh, it's Mark. What's going on, bro? Yeah, Dune 3 I might check out. I have to see Dune 1 and 2, though. That's the thing. I have to see Dune 1 and 2 before I see Dune 3. Excuse me. Hold on a minute. Let me... I'm sorry. I have to make a quick adjustment here. Whoa. What is going on with me? There we go. Now you should be able to see it better. All right. Here we go. What stuff? Because the DCU only has a couple things out. Hold on. Hungry Almighty says, wait, it says Earth 10005, but didn't all the Fox X-Men die through the events of Logan? No, Logan was a different timeline. Logan, even when that movie came out, Logan was an alternate timeline. Is Captain Marvel in Secret Wars? I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Yeah, Logan was actually meant to be like a separate timeline. Like that. James Mangold wanted it to be almost like a what if. Kind of. I mean, it's like what Deadpool showed. Because if you see Deadpool and Wolverine, it's discussed in that movie. All right, here we go. It all begins on Earth 10005. We see Professor X and Magneto playing chess while devising a plan to attack another Earth. I think they already have the plan set up already. They have a bomb created by Beast. Suddenly, another Earth appears on the horizon, Earth 96238, and the X-Men, who have faced similar situations before, spring into action. So, okay. The previous leak, a lot of this stuff was in the previous leak, like the whole bombs created by Beast thing. Like, that's what that is. I can't really answer this question right now, bro. Like, I'm going through the thing right now, so you also have to clarify, like, if you're talking about comics or movies. So, Beast creating a universe bomb is something that I heard about a long time ago. It's supposed to be like when the TVA prunes timelines, like one of those types of things. I guess we'll find out, bro. Arriving on Earth 96238, where it's raining, a group of Sentinels, along with Magneto, travel to New York City, transporting a destructive bomb. So that's weird because Sentinels are going to be working with the X-Men. All right, that's different. I guess they were reprogrammed, right? Meanwhile, Deadpool and Wolverine discover Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's presence, and a fight ensues. This was leaked like forever ago. Like the whole Tobey Maguire thing, like forever ago. That is an old school thing that he's opening the film. Most of the battle takes place on a rooftop. Spider-Man defeats them, but in the end, it's too late. Magneto and the Guardians have already destroyed New York and New Jersey. This has been when it says the Guardians, but I think they mean the Sentinels. You have to remember, this is translated from Russian. So there's going to be, bro, again, you're asking these questions when let me read this, okay? Like, take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Let me get through this. You're asking questions that I can't even answer right now because I don't even know, like, I haven't even gotten there yet. All right. So anyways, so this is a translation from Russian. So they probably mean Sentinels, even though it says Sentinels up here. So I don't know. But anyways, Ian McKellen said that he destroyed New Jersey. But again, I want to reiterate something. Just because a leak got something right does not mean that it's actually a real leak. You have to understand something, right? You have to understand that sometimes the guys who write this keep up with all the interviews, all the leaks, all the YouTube channels, and they compile it together to make like a plot leak or whatever, a movie plot that might not actually be the real movie plot. It just takes things that have been revealed and puts them in the movie plot. And that's, you gotta notice that sometimes. Like notice that whenever there's a new piece of information that comes out, there's all of a sudden like, a new leak that has that piece of information in it? Why wasn't that in there before the leak, before the information came out? Like, see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think about those things, because sometimes that proves that these leaks aren't always true. So far, though, I mean, this all makes sense. We know that Deadpool and Wolverine are definitely in the movie because of Hugh Jackman appearing at D23, along with Ryan Reynolds, both D23 and the San Diego Comic-Con. And the fact that they were there means they're in the movie. I saw some people who were very gullible. Oh, well, they said they're not in the movie. No, dumbass, they're in the movie. If they're going to show up at San Diego Comic-Con and D23, they're already in the movie. This whole, like, when do you guys start shooting? No, he already shot his stuff, bro. They're already in. Like, that's all just to play around. Spider-Man remains on his knees contemplating the destruction. Wolverine tries to explain why this is happening, but Magneto finds them and steals the device to activate the bomb. Spider-Man tries to attack Magneto, but is defeated. I wish they... Okay, well, how is he defeated, though? Like, how is he defeated? What does Magneto do? I wish they actually showed, like, Magneto doing something, right? Wolverine tries to save him, but is too late to escape. From Charles Xavier's window, this is in the trailer, Raimi's Earth explodes and Magneto and Deadpool return through the portal, leaving Wolverine behind. Now, I talked about this in a video I put out a couple days ago. I genuinely do not think that Spider-Man and Wolverine are actually dead. I don't think that. I think this is going to be a big misdirect, and I think they're going to come back in Secret Wars. They're going to reveal that they somehow survived. Whether it be through a temp pad or something, they survived. Low-key, whatever. I think that that's what they're going to reveal eventually. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm being real with you. I could be wrong, but I find it easier to believe that Toby and Hugh are going to get one big adventure at the end of like Secret Wars, right? Before Toby retires as Spider-Man. Which, to be honest, I really did want another Toby Spider-Man Sam Raimi movie. I really did want one after No Way Home. And I even wanted another Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, because I thought that No Way Home really revitalized those characters. But whatever. Alright, moving on. The action then shifts to Tony Stark's funeral. Steve speaks with some of the heroes, including Ant-Man, before embarking on a journey to retrieve the Infinity Stones. Okay, it's not... You mean to return the Infinity Stones. Again, this is the translation. Also, why doesn't this go into what he tells Ant-Man? Okay, what does he tell him? Traveling through time, he decides to stay with Peggy, and they have a son named Jim. One day, Loki visits them. None of this is new. In fact, there's a lot of talk that this scene right here is going to be shown in Avengers Endgame Encore. Like, that is what a lot of people are speculating, and I think that makes sense. Because that's during the time of Avengers Endgame. Upon seeing him, Steve immediately suspects something is wrong and thinks he's going to attack. However, Loki calms him down and explains that this isn't the same Loki he fought in the past, but a different godlike version who controls the timelines of the multiverse. That contradicts the previous leak that said that it's Loki before Season 2's finale, but after Season 1's finale. However, what's weird is he says it's not the same Loki he fought in the past, but yes, it is. If this Loki is Loki from 2012, he did fight him in the past, because the Loki from 2012... those events took place after the Avengers. Like, after this, the Avengers movie, right? Or after the fight, the Battle of New York, is when Loki was, like, in handcuffs. And then he took the Tesseract when the future Avengers went back in time. So, it's one of those things where it is a Loki that they fought. He warns him about the existence of the TVA and explains that their presence in this era is causing an invasion. See, I don't think this is invasion. I think it's incursion. Not invasion, incursion. Again, this is a translation. And that they will soon destroy this timeline because Steve should never have stayed there or had a child. Okay, this checks out, but what I don't understand is why Loki would help Steve Rogers. Like, why would Loki help Steve Rogers. I know Loki's a good guy now. I watched the Loki season 1 and 2. But why specifically Rogers? Why didn't Loki... Here's another question. Why didn't Loki go to the X-Men universe and save Monica Rambeau? See, there's a lot of questions here that the movie needs to answer if this is the direction they're going in. Because there has to be a reason, right? And truth be told, we may not get the answer till Secret Wars. You got to remember that. This upcoming film is part 1 of a 2-part saga. Secret Wars is the second part. Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. I can't believe that we're in 5 and 6, bro. To save them and prevent the collapse, Loki offers them a way out, transporting them to another place where they won't invade, to a universe where they don't exist and where they can live in peace. The Fantastic Four universe. This is exactly what I have heard in the past. Before leaving, Loki gives Steve a special card so he can contact him. Steve and his family accept the offer and have been living in this new universe for 10 years. Right. And that's supposed to cause an incursion, and that pisses off Doctor Doom, bro. Okay, this made me laugh right here. You're a funny guy. This leak sounds more like diarrhea running down some Redditor's leg. That's good shit. I'm going to steal that from you. I don't think it's that bad yet, but yeah. You know what? That's a good point. But you never know, bro, because Majors might have a cameo. You never know. They brought Robert Downey back, and he had a tough, whatever. This is actually a good idea for a stream. Join the pivot into more MCU comics stuff outside of Dragon Ball. Well, this whole channel is like, this whole channel is not Dragon Ball. But actually, you reminded me of something. I need to promote this in the community tab of Geekdom 101. Let me do that right now, bro. Before I continue. You just reminded me. I forgot. I knew I forgot something. Like when I started, I was like, did I forget something? All of you have lived stolen lives. Now you must give them back. Now you must give them back. Suck that dick. Hold on. Streaming live. All right, hold on. All right, I'm posting it. We got a pretty good crowd tonight, bro. Okay. So, let's continue here. Thanks for being patient with me. I needed to do that real quick. Let me switch back to World of Geekdom. All right, so check it out. Okay, so Steve and fucking, what's her name? Peggy Carter with the big titties. And their kid is in 828. That makes sense, because that's going to cause the incursion that pisses off Doctor Doom and kills his family, supposedly. The sequence continues with a scene showing events from 10 years prior. Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, and The Thing are at a basketball game. There's an accident involving the city and fence, and Steve and Jim help people move and dismantle it. Ben noticed... I wonder if Jim has super serum, bro. Maybe this guy, fucking Steve Rogers has like super sperm or something. I don't know. Super sperm, like the ODB said. Ben notices something unusual. Maybe that's the only thing that could tame fucking big titty Peggy Carter, bro. Yes, Galactits. I'm going to miss that. And when he goes to investigate, they receive a burglary alert from the Baxter building and panic, racing home in the Fantastic car. Upon arriving, they're surprised to find everything calm. There they see Dr. Doom with Sue Storm, Herbie, and Franklin. Although Reed is surprised by their sudden encounter, he knows Victor well. Of course, they went to college together. Ben, Reed, and Victor studied together at university, right. By the way, y'all, I might be having Dr. Doom on this channel very soon. I'm trying to get that finalized, but I may have a very big guest from Latveria. The real Victor Von Doom might be coming, bro, so look forward to that. I already answered this in a previous stream, and the answer is yes. I actually thought of this. I don't know if I'm the first person to come up with it, But something similar to this, yes, I did mention this, but that's not going to get revealed till Secret Wars, I don't think. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think. And that's something I'm going to criticize this script. We'll get to it because it might be in here, but I have thoughts. I have thoughts about that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just watching the Avengers movie. Damn, bro. I did read this. It's just with the all caps. I did read what you said. Yeah, it's before he becomes the god of stories. Okay, so, however, the connection runs deeper. It's well known that Victor lost his wife and son. Victor only became ruler of Latveria later when he overthrew the brutal regime with his Doombots. So all of that matches with the comics, at least that part of it, not so much the wife and son. But are we going to find all of this out here? Like, the thing about these... so the thing about these plot leaks is they always write extra information here. And when you're watching a movie, right... Are they going to stop the plot to teach you all this here? Or are you going to find out slowly as the film progresses? Right? So, like, I'm trying to let you know that, like, there are always, whenever one of these things come out, there's always red flags. And you got to be cautious. And I do think that some of this is real. I'm genuinely believing that some of it's real, but maybe not all of it. Maybe they're just guessing, or maybe they're leaving information out. Obviously, there's a lot more context when the movie comes out, hence why this has not ruined the movie for me. Victor is, so to speak, Earth's Doctor Strange, a master of magic and sorcery. That's not even like a leak. That was revealed by San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of this stuff has already gotten out publicly. Like a lot of this stuff. That's why, and a lot of it's confirmed. That's why I'm saying that a lot of these plot leaks, they just take public stuff and they add stuff to it. But that right there, Victor being the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth 828, that's like not even a leak. That's out there. That's promoted. Because of this, in addition to the rumors about witches and witchcraft, Sue is nervous. Victor warns Reed that he fears their Earth will be the next victim of the invasion. Incursion. The incursion. Victor is very familiar with the incursions and explains to the Fantastic Four that when the fabric between two realities is torn, the centers of each are drawn to one another, and once the incursion is successful, both universes cease to exist. So he basically, so this part, again, guys, I'm skeptical. Let me tell you why I'm skeptical. This part right here sounds almost word for fucking word as to what Reed says to Strange in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You know what I'm saying? Like, word for word, bro. Hold on. All right, look, let me share this with you. All right, check this out. This is exactly what was said.
Your arrival here confuses and destabilizes reality. The larger the footprint you leave behind, the greater the risk of an incursion.
This is where he goes into it right here, right? And again, that's what I'm saying. It's almost word for word what is in that plot leak.
Incursion? An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like the same thing. So it's like, so again, with these plot leaks, it seems like they take things from other Marvel, like either leaks or news or whatever, and they put it in there. All he had to write right here is Victor explains incursions to Reed. But this just sounds like he just took that from there. That's why I don't fully trust this. The center, of course, is Earth. Reed and Victor, that's how it is in the comics too. Reed and Victor investigate and discover 3 anomalies on their Earth, but in the same location. We see that Steve and his family grew up together on this Earth. Well, he's already grown up, but I know what they mean. Steve has a beard and long hair, and James is now about 10 or 11 years old. We know that based on the pictures. Victor and Reed encounter these anomalies, but are surprised to discover they're simply a happy family. Steve confesses and explains how he ended up there. They warn Steve about what is happening in the multiverse, inspired by the Fantastic Four and their exploits in the forest. That doesn't sound correct. I think they mean inspired by Fantastic Four with Galactus. With Galactus. Right? This is kind of what I'm saying. What Dragon Slayer's saying here. Kind of what I'm saying. I do think this is possible. You gotta take these things with a grain of salt sometimes, you know. By the way, Mandalorian tomorrow. I hope I get enough sleep. I'm not sleepy though. All right, so anyways, there's also a thing where James is supposed to be a fanboy of Reed Richards, and that's gonna be a cute moment. But yeah, the here's the thing. So does Victor already know of what Captain America did, or is he just now finding out? Like, that is the question. You know? Observe natural evolution. I do not agree with you. I don't think MJ and Ned remembered Peter at all. I don't know if you watched a different movie than I did, but neither one of them remembered Peter. That was literally like part of the story, that neither one of them remembered Peter. Thor and his adopted daughter Love traveled through space together. However, Love is now plagued with nightmares about the incursions. Yeah, there's a scene in the trailer where she's like waking up and it looks like she was sleeping. Thor travels to New Asgard, where Valkyrie and an Asgardian doctor are examining a young girl who's dying due to the collapse of the multiverse. Valkyrie receives a call from the Avengers informing her of the ship's arrival on Earth. Thor leaves Love on New Asgard and heads to the Fantastic Four ship. Sam Wilson's Avengers are also notified. Thor boards the Excelsior and is shocked to see Steve. Well, okay, so that's in the trailer, you know, when, you know, he doesn't believe him until he picks up Mjolnir. Again, that's in the trailer, you know, that's impossible. Shh, you know, that whole thing. Thor and Steve embrace, and the Excelsior is forced to dock at the new Avengers Tower. Where's America Chavez? She's having tacos behind a trailer somewhere while everybody else fights, bro. Do you think the main rivalry will be Reed versus Doom or Steve versus Doom? I know that Reed and Doom have history because RDJ's playing Doom. I can see that doing Steve versus Victor Evans. I think it's both. I think it's actually both. But I think we'll get probably more of it in Secret Wars. I think it is both, though. All right, bro. All right, stop with the all caps, bro. Take it easy, bro. You sound. I know you're not trying to look like you're yelling at me. But, like, it's just funny. Like, it makes me laugh, but at the same time, you don't have to do it. Will you watch Avengers Endgame Encore in theaters? Probably. I don't see why not. I think my AMC will cover it, so yeah, I think I will. It's supposed to be 4 minutes of extra footage, which, that's not a lot, but it's not a little bit either, you know what I mean? We'll see. Possibly. That could be, I think that's going to be just a fight versus a... Like, I think it's going to be just a fight versus, like, a whole thing. Wait, who's crying? Me or you? I'm just saying, you don't have to worry about the all caps. I see what you're saying. It's just funny. It's just, I don't know. It made me laugh. You did good, bro. Okay. Thor and Steve embrace, and the Excelsior is forced to dock at the new Avengers Tower. Why don't they have a conversation here? You know? I think Reed's gonna get taken out. So you think he's gonna die in this movie? Like, you really think he's gonna die? Genuinely. I mean, everyone's probably gonna die. And then get brought back. Because nobody ever dies in these fucking things. I hope so. I hope so. That's Secret War stuff, though. That's Secret War stuff. But I hope so. Yeah, she is, Brian. I think she has a big booty, so she could definitely be the Nexus being of me, bro. Well, yeah, he could mean fucking just taken out. More like putting the void. Oh, so you're saying that he's gonna get pruned and then come back in Secret Wars. Does Doom have that power? I guess we'll see. Yeah, I've heard about this theory before, Hungry Almighty. I've heard about it. Maybe I'll do a video on it. The only reason why I haven't is because this theory is more like a Secret Wars theory than a Doomsday theory. But I did say in a recent video that I do think we're gonna see Tony versus Victor at some point. Like, I think the fight's happening one way or another, bro. Oh, dude, the negative zone would pop me. That would pop me, bro. Because if Sue's pregnant with Valeria, she got pregnant in the negative zone and Doom delivered the baby and named it. I have a question about this and we're gonna get to it later. I'm gonna get to it later here. Realm of Geekdom is now Geekdom 101 Plus. That's what it is now. Okay, so anyways, I mean, you know that. As soon as they board, Sam's team arrives and immediately argues with Bucky about which team should take command. Scott Lang spends some time with Ghost. Steve gets off the Excelsior and almost everyone's surprised to see him. Steve has a pleasant reunion with Sam, Scott, and Bucky. He also shares a touching moment with Elena Belova. Yelena Belova, as they discuss Natasha. Steve Rogers brings the two groups of Avengers together with a Captain America-style speech, focusing on not only the invasion, but on the cosmic crisis. People are going to bitch about this if this is true, bro. No, he ain't Captain America, man. Sam Wilson is. Sam Wilson's Captain America. Why can't Sam give the speech? People are going to bitch about it, bro. I'm telling you. Sam and Steve make plans to travel to Wakanda, while Shuri tells Sam that she too is aware of the space crisis and is already working on a solution. I guess that makes sense. We did hear that Shuri's going to get recruited into Sam's Avengers. I just don't know if, like, this is the part where that happens. The group of heroes reunite with the people of Wakanda, and Steve is shocked to learn of T'Challa's death. Well, that's good. That should be talked about. A small group heads to Talokan, where the effects of the space crisis are visible. The sky has turned red. Because of this, Namor used all the water that normally filled Talokan to create a massive water barrier around it. Well, that's not going to help when the incursion happens. Shuri and M'Baku, a.k.a. fucking Obafemi. Shuri and Obafemi traveled to Talokan along with Sue, Ben, Bucky, Ghost, Falcon, and the American agent. I think they mean the U.S. agent, bro. That reminds me, bro, of when the American males were debuting in WCW, and Dave Meltzer called them the U.S. males. He refused to call them American males, only U.S. males. Go read the Observers from 95, bro, and 96. The rest remain in Wakanda searching for a solution. Sue uses her powers to cross the barrier, and upon reaching Namor, discovers that he's extremely hostile. He refuses to cooperate with Shuri, and this is where we see Sue's diplomatic skills in action. Yeah, that makes sense to her character. She manages to unite the people of Wakanda and the Talokans. They return to Wakanda with Namor, and when they arrive, I thought they were already cool after Black Panther 2, but I haven't seen that movie since the theaters, bro. That movie's kind of doo-doo, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't a big fan of it. Maybe if I watch it again, I'll like it. The discovery situation is hopeless. No solution has ever been found. Reed even begins to believe that the multiverse's fate always leads to death, but he remains open to other options. See, that's weird, because how would Reed even think that? The only way this would make any sense is if Reed actually did calculations, like, prior to the movie. So, do you think Namor will somehow betray Shuri and somehow she dies because of it? That explains why the Black Panther 3 child has beef with Namor. I didn't know he had beef with Namor. If that happens, bro, what you're talking about, that sounds like something that would happen in Secret Wars more than in this movie. Do you think Anthony Mackie is displeased? He probably thought he was going to be the main Avenger or the man in the next Avengers movie. I don't know about displeased. He's going to be in one of the biggest movies ever made. And Robert Downey's coming back too, so it's like whatever. They're bringing back their big players. But I think that they just announced today that Marcus and McFeely want to make a Captain America 5 with Sam. So maybe that will, like, if he is pissed off, I don't know if you saw that announcement today, if he is pissed off, maybe that would make him feel better. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't like Black Panther 2 at all, bro. Like, I wanted to like it. Where is Star Lord? Well, I haven't finished this yet, but I understand him not being involved here. Me too, actually. Me too. Me too, bro. Me too. However, Doom suggests attacking the X-Men's Earth, which is causing an incursion between 828 and 616. Yeah, but why is X-Men's Earth causing the incursion? It would only be because of Monica Rambeau, but the incursion happening to Monica Rambeau, or I'm sorry, because of Monica Rambeau should be 616 or 828 colliding with the X-Men universe, not with each other. That doesn't really make sense. Again, these leaks, I don't fully trust them. I think some of this is right. There's obviously a language barrier, but I don't fully trust them. Sam suggests a diplomatic approach while Namor believes bloodshod's the way forward. Scott dismisses the quantum dimension and mentions his encounter with Kang. Doom looks at Scott, referring to this comment. So Doom knows who Kang is? Well, that needs to be that's a major, major plot point. See, people think that Kang's not going to get mentioned at all when I highly doubt that it's not going to get mentioned at all. Steve rejects the Infinity Stones, swearing they are the reason for their current predicament. Maybe. What can you do with the Infinity Stone? Reed jokes that Galactus would be useful in a situation, but no one knows where he is. But why would Galactus be useful? Like, what? Is it knowledge? Is it a power? Like, what would make Galactus useful? I don't know. This joke gives Reed an idea. What if they use the same technology they used to exile Galactus? Now this, I think, is definitely happening. Something like this, I think, is definitely going to happen. Reed believes that if they build 3 cannons, one on each Earth, it'll figuratively help separate them. That was in a previous leak. However, they must hurry because time is running out. The only thing about this, though, is that the original plot leak about this said that Doom is the one that comes up with the cannons idea. Right? Because ultimately Doom is fucking with them. And he doesn't want them to, like, actually, to actually succeed. So the cannons is actually like a lie. I want to hear the cannon. Steve splits into 3 teams. One of them remains in Wakanda to begin constructing their cannon. Wakanda already possesses advanced technology that could easily replicate what the Fantastic Four did in First Steps. Of course they do. The team travels to Earth 828, specifically to the Baxter Building, to construct their cannon. The final team must travel to another Earth, 10005, and convince the heroes there to listen to the plan. Yeah, but this guy said attack the X-Men. That's different. This is considered the most important task, so the most famous heroes participate. Victor, Reed with Herbie, Sam, Elena, and Shang-Chi are the ones that choose to go. Wait a minute, the most famous heroes? Victor, Reed, Sam, Elena, and Shang-Chi? I'm sorry, but I don't think that Elena and Sam are the most famous heroes. Like, I don't know. But there have been leaked pictures that supposedly show these 5 people on a ship, but that also looked like AI. So Steve feels very uneasy around Doom and tells Thor and Loki about it. Oh no, tells Thor about Loki is probably what he means to say. Again, this is translated. Thor insists he take him to Loki, so they devise a plan to reach the TVA using the map Loki left him. I thought he left him a card. We know he left him a card. Sue and Shuri also have their own problems, and Sue admits to Shuri that something is wrong with Victor, so they explore other options on their own. Well, what other options? The team remaining on 616 consists of Shuri, Sue with Franklin, Namor, Steve, Thor, Ant-Man, and Red Guardian. The team going to 828 consists of Johnny, The Thing, Falcon, U.S. Agent, Ghost, and Bucky. So why is this U.S. Agent but up here it's American Agent? I don't know, man. Again, I have a lot of skepticism with this. I have a lot of skepticism here. Don't like take it the wrong way. I'm not saying it's all bullshit, but again, it is also a translation. After traveling on the Excelsior, Reed, accompanied by Herbie, Sam Wilson, Elena Belova, Shang-Chi, and Dr. Doom, board a Quinjet bound for Earth 005. Upon landing at the X Mansion, they are immediately captured by a group of guardians guarding the building. Sentinels is probably what they mean. Doom remains outside for cover while the rest of the team stealthily enters. Okay. The X-Men have survived many incursions before, and have become extremely hostile. They trust no one and believe the heroes of 616 and the Fantastic Four have come to destroy them, so they attack without hesitation. This makes sense, because they fight in the trailer, and that makes sense. As they nervously wander the halls, Nightcrawler stalks them from the shadows. Upon reaching the danger room, they encounter Mystique. Elena ignores Reed's direct orders and goes on the offensive. The battle is intense. Mystique changes her appearance, first becoming Elena herself, and then Natasha, which greatly annoys Elena, although she manages to eventually regain her advantage. Okay. How the fuck does Mystique know who Natasha is? Can somebody answer that? The only way that this makes any sense, listen carefully, the only way that this makes any sense is if Xavier already probed their brains and gave the and somehow sent the information to Mystique, which he could do that. He can do that. He has the powers to do that. But if that's not what happened, bro, either the movie's gonna have a plot hole or this thing is not correct. There's no reason at all for her to know who Natasha is. No, I think Jean Grey's dead, bro. It's too bad because I wanted to see Famke Jansson's fine ass, bro. Saw somewhere that Yelena had a picture of Natasha. Okay, but where does she get the picture from? Where does she get the picture from, bro? Why would she have a picture of somebody from a different universe? That doesn't make sense to me. All right. Meanwhile, Shang-Chi fights Gambit in a flawless and evenly matched battle that ends in a draw. Well, we saw that in the trailers. Reed tries to contain Deadpool in a chaotic fight that culminates in a comedic Deadpool 2-esque moment when Wade sits on Reed's swollen face. If this happens, I'm going to be pissed off. At the same time, Cyclops attacks Sam Wilson and fires an optic blast so destructive that it appears to kill him. Okay. So we've already got a huge mistake already here. This is why I'm skeptical. Alan Cumming said that he has a fight scene with Pedro Pascal. He said this months ago. Why does this plot leak not have that fight in it? Did the Russian hackers forget to include it in their fan fiction? Or is that scene getting cut out? I don't know. Again, skeptical. How is Doom Sorcerer Supreme? I thought evil people can be Sorcerer Supreme. Who told you that you had to be a good person to be a Sorcerer Supreme? You should go back and watch Doctor Strange 1 and 2 again, bro. I don't know who the hell. Bro, Doctor Strange 1 and 2 go into the fact that there are evil Sorcerer Supremes. So anyways, yeah, where is the fight with Reed and Nightcrawler? Also, I don't know if I like Deadpool it being in this scene, bro. I don't like him hanging out at the X mansion. Will we see Miss Marvel? I hope so, because I like looking at her. Really, bro? Listen, bro. Listen to me. Listen to me. If you're going to come in here with this pansy shit tonight, I'm not in the mood, bro. I'm giving you one warning. If you're going to come in here with this snowflake soft shit tonight, bro, you're out of here. I do not want to deal with it. Come on. Wait, what do you mean, Captain? Where? Okay, anyways. At the same time, Cyclops attacks Sam Wilson and fires an optic blast so destructive it appears to kill him. The entire battle suddenly interrupted when Beast, figure shown in the trailer descending the stairs, appears. Somebody said that Beast, like, blows up. Thank you, Lone Wolf. That Beast, like, blows up fucking, like, the mansion, but that wouldn't make sense. Realizing they pose no direct threat, Beast leads them to the medical bay where they find Monica Rambeau. That makes sense following up from the Marvels. Monica is trapped on Earth 10005 following recent events and is gravely ill from being in the wrong reality. Okay. Can somebody explain to me why Monica Rambeau is gravely ill, but Steve Rogers is not? Can somebody explain that one to me also? If Steve Rogers was in the 828, if he was in the 828 for 10 years, why is he not sick or dead? And if you say the super soldier serum, bro, no, bro, I'm not buying this. See, this is a good explanation right here. Maybe she's gravely ill because she survived being in a horrible movie. I fucking hated that movie, bro. I hated that movie, dude. I hated it. I really did, bro. Seriously. And it has nothing to do with woke or any of that bullshit. The movie was just a bad movie. That's exactly my point, bro. I don't think this is Marvel. I think either the leakers are wrong. I mean, if it is, we got problems. If this is Marvel, we got problems. But I don't know for sure if it is. Hold on a minute. I need to... She's got space madness, bro. Space madness. That was from Ren and Stimpy. I don't know if you remember that. Well, hold on. Let me. Wait. Yes. This. Oh, there we go. Yes, I do think that. I do think that this is true. There are some truths in this. The Marvels is so bad that I didn't even watch it. Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I went with an open mind, bro. Space madness, bro. I want to eat an ice cream bar. Remember, he ate the fucking ice cream bar?
These
Now we got some real entertainment, bro.
dirty hands. And with these hands, I hold the fate of millions.
I didn't get this when I was a kid, bro. I had to get a little bit older to really get this.
They think he's a god. But he's as mortal as we.
Bro, this is so ahead of its time, dude, when you think about it.
I know. Just one quick twist.
about breaking his neck and shit, bro.
It's over. Just what?
And the music, bro, this is so well done.
It's happening again! My brain! My hot, stinging brain!
His screams are amazing, bro. His screams are amazing. I agree with this. Deadpool should probably have a minimum role for this movie. You know what I mean? Why? But why would Xavier make her sick, though? By the way, did you know that when I was a kid, after I watched Ren and Stimpy, I tried to take a bite out of my bar of soap for real? I think I covered this in a previous video, although I may have. So I recorded a video 2 days ago, and I lost the audio, and I had to re-record the video because I was a stupid idiot. And I forgot if I included this in the second recording or not. So yes, I did see it. No, dude, I literally fucking tried to bite my bar of soap because of that fucking Ren and Stimpy, though. Because I was a stupid kid. I was a dumb kid, bro. I didn't play with logs, but I shot them. Yeah, don't whiz on the electric fence, right? Sometimes, but I don't think so in this movie, bro. I think we're supposed to love lovable Patrick Stewart, bro. Because remember, bro, the joke is how many times does Xavier get killed in movies, bro? Xavier has died. Let's do some math here. He died in X3. He died in Days of Futures Past like 8 or 9 times, right? Maybe more off screen. He died in Logan. He died in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, bro. This fucking guy, Xavier, bro, he's died more times than Krillin. Oh my god. He can't fucking stay alive. Yeah, but you gotta remember, bro, it's a selling point for both of these movies, not just one. They both come in a package. It's, you know, it's like a 2-for-1 thing, you know what I mean? You gotta think of it like that. I don't know, bro, but I'm not finished with my read yet, so let's see if they do get involved. We're still going in, bro. We're still going in. Okay. Realizing they pose no threat, okay, we read that already. Beast explains to Reed that Monica's presence in this universe is accelerating the invasion of her Earth to a critical level. The incursion. He also reveals that... What? There's nothing else. What the fuck is this? This is the plot leak. And you're going to tell me you're not going to reveal this, bro, this must be a Russian hacker, bro. A fucking Russian hacker. All right. Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. We will be faced with an unthinkable decision. Do I want paper or plastic? Finally, Reed and Dr. Doom managed to meet. Do I want a blonde or a brunette? Finally, Reed and Doom managed to meet Charles Xavier and Magneto. As the frustrated X-Men watch, Reed and Doom present their true solution to prevent the multiverse collapse, constructing massive cannons on each remaining Earth that will fire a force capable of permanently separating the universe and preventing incursions once and for all. After an explanation, Reed manages to convince Xavier and Magneto to join the plan and refuse to use the destructive bomb. Yeah, it's better than using the bomb. They're just going to separate the realities. Upon return to 616, Steve and Thor left their group and head to the TVA. The problem was that they found it destroyed and littered with the corpses of its agents. I'm pretty sure this is true. In fact, you know the scene where... So you know the scene in the trailer where Reed is like, Victor, did you do this? I think he's talking about the TVA. I don't think he's talking about the New York being blown up. I think when he says, Victor, did you do this? I think it's literally about the TVA, bro. Brother, why don't you wait until I continue? Like, y'all are bringing up characters that are probably going to get talked about later. Like, why don't you wait? And I'm not even halfway done yet. Paciencia. Tenga paciencia, bro. Take it easy. Take it easy. Paciencia means patience, by the way. I assume you'd be able to figure that out, but maybe not. Let's see. We're not even done yet. Mobius was there and arrived himself. Mobius helped Stephen Thor find Loki. They arrived at the end of time and saw him dead at the foot of the throne. Okay. Upon return to Earth 616, Stephen Thor left their group and headed to the TVA. Oh, wait, we already read that. Wait, did they write? They wrote that again. The problem was they found and destroyed littered with the corpses of his agents. Mobius there. Okay, they arrived at the end of time, saw him dead. Okay, they wrote that twice. See how they wrote it twice? That's weird. Okay. His heart had been ripped out from his body. That's already kind of leaked already. The Watcher appeared and told Steve and Thor what had happened. The cause was a group of followers in Doom. Then he took Steve and Thor to Earth 1005 because everyone was in danger. Hold on. The Watcher? Bullshit. Bullshit. Bro, didn't I just say to wait for me? Didn't I just fucking say that I'm still reading this, bro? She's probably dead. They already announced her for Secret Wars, bro. They literally, 2 weeks ago, they announced her for Secret Wars. She'll be there. Yeah, okay, the Watcher thing is kind of bugging me because that doesn't make any sense. Why would the Watcher get involved now? I don't like this. I think this is fake. I think this is fake. I think this part is fake. I think either Mobius tells them it was Doom or Mobius is also dead. Steve and Thor return to Earth 10005 and the trailer shows Thor's arrival and the ensuing battle. Reed is completely stunned and refuses to believe Victor did this thing. Well, this is the part that's in. Again, this is all stuff in the trailer. There's nothing. Where's all the unique conversations, bro? Like, this is all stuff from the fucking trailer. He yells in Victor's face. Yeah, it's all in the. Bro, trust me. All they're doing is taking shit from the trailers and adding shit. I assure you, there's more. There is more to this movie than meets the eye. I fucking promise you. I saw a lot of other YouTube channels like read this and like claim it to be true. I'm not saying it's all bullshit. I think some of this is true, but not all of it. There's a lot of shit that I'm seeing red flags in. Victor unleashes half a dozen Sentinels against the Avengers and the X-Men. Trailer. The teams join forces to fight them. However, Deadpool leaves, promising to find proper reinforcements, and disappears from the battlefield. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make. Why would he leave in the middle of the fight without making sure everybody else is okay? Not a good idea. It would make sense if he left after the fight. Doom fights all the Avengers and easily defeats them. The mutants also are defeated. Magneto fights Doom, putting up a decent fight, but ends up severely wounded in the arm. Trailer. Unfortunately, Mystique, who saves Magneto's life, and Nightcrawler, who save everyone from the Guardians' attack, or the Sentinels' attack, teleports them to safety, are killed by Doom. In a fight scene, the mutant Avengers are insufficient to defeat the Sentinels, and the Brotherhood arrives to help. The Scarlet Witch of this universe, along with Polaris, Quicksilver, and other mutants, easily destroys all the... Wait a minute, bro. Okay. Number one. I like Scarlet Witch being in this universe, and I hope it's played by big titty fucking, what's her name again? Elizabeth Olsen. Number two, Polaris. I wish. Quicksilver, okay, that's got to be Ralph Boner, right? It's the Ralph Boner Quicksilver, right? Not the Aaron Taylor Johnson one. It's got to be Ralph Boner. And other mutants. Well, what other mutants, bro? Why don't you explain? Doom finds the Scarlet Witch of this universe was looking for. So he was trying to get the Scarlet Witch the whole time. So there you go. Somebody was asking about Wanda. There you go, bro. There you go. Like, she's in the movie. But I'm still skeptical because, okay, Doom wanting to take the Scarlet Witch and use her powers makes perfect sense because WandaVision foreshadowed all that. Bro, I just told you she's confirmed. Did I not just say she's already been confirmed for Secret Wars? Was there an ad that was playing when I said that, bro? Anyways, Steve realizes this and tries to save Wanda from this universe, but Doom's attack stuns him and Wanda's kidnapped. Victor uses the ultimate annihilator. You mean the ultimate nullifier? The ultimate annihilator, bro. What the fuck? The ultimate nullifier. The Avengers, the mutants, Reed and Herbie escape by boarding the ship and traveling to Earth 828. The reality of Universe 10005 was destroyed by fate. What do you mean by fate? It was destroyed by Doom. What are you talking about? I don't know. Some of this stuff sounds like bullshit. It sounds like they're trying to plug up the holes, but they're doing a bad job of it. I like how y'all keep asking me about characters when I'm not done with the goddamn fucking thing. Every 5 minutes. You know what? I'm not even going to address those questions anymore. Where's this person? Where's that person? We're not even done yet. Let's finish up and then we'll talk about where fucking whatchamacallit, bro. Remaining Avengers, Reed Richards and Sue Storm tell everyone about Victor Von Doom's past. That's in the trailer. Bucky has a personal mission to save Steve. He now has a family and must save him. Peggy and James. Well, of course. She's not the original Peggy. She's a witch. The original Peggy's dead. What? I'm confused. I am so confused. They didn't even explain fucking like what happened to Thor. Okay. So Bucky has a mission to save Steve. I get that. He now has a family and must save him. Okay. Peggy and James, but she's not the original Peggy. So are they saying that when Steve went back in time that Peggy wasn't really Peggy? Or is it a different Peggy? A variant? Very weird. Hold on. Yeah, that's weird, bro. Again, some of this stuff. Okay. She tells Doom they're in Baxter Building and he orders the attack. The witch reveals her identity and kidnaps James. So I guess that's a Latvian witch. The attack on New York begins and the Baxter Building is shown about to explode with everyone inside. So Doom attacks the Baxter Building. A shot of Franklin and Johnny in the trailer. See, again, he keeps fucking... These guys are just taking shit from the trailers and putting it in the fucking movie. No, you know what? I did say I wasn't going to address those anymore. So I'm just going to ignore you. If you keep asking where's so-and-so, I'm just going to ignore you. Franklin saves everyone. Charles admires Franklin as an Omega-level mutant. Well, that's true. He is. Thor travels... So Franklin saves everyone from Doom. Okay. Thor travels to Earth 616, prays to Father Odin, and a new squad arrives. And this has been, like, talked about a lot. It includes Jane Foster, Heimdall, and Loki from Infinity War. That makes sense. The inhabitants of Wakanda and M'Baku arrive with Thor. Valkyrie and Korg are also there. No, come on, bro. Korg. I thought Korg got blown up. I thought only his head was left. Am I wrong about that? Didn't Korg get blown up in Thor 4? Love and Thunder? Only 2 Earths remain in the entire multiverse. A portal appears in the sky leading to Earth 616 and then to Earth 828. A portal. The final attack begins. Who opened the portal? Like, bro, listen. The longer... Oh, Korg survived? Okay. I'm still not buying it, bro. Here's the thing. Now that we're this far into the script, the closer we get to the end, the more I call bullshit. I think this person, bro, just for the first half of this, took all the stuff from the various trailers and reveals and put it in there. And then this whole thing now is all just fan fiction. Because the stuff that's been shown in the trailers is not the third act. I believe the third act does take place in Latveria. I 100% believe that. I 100% believe it, right? But this, it seems like he's just trying to put everything together and it's not making sense. A portal appears in the sky. Like, okay. Final attack begins shut up between Earth 616 and 828. So wait, 616 is fighting 828? What the? Okay. The Fantastic Four, hold on a minute. Avengers and X-Men arrive in Latveria from the Baxter Building while Thor and his army, along with the people of Wakanda, arrive from Earth, visible on the horizon. So Earth, the 2 Earths are like right next to each other. Victor returns Steve to his castle in Latveria. Steve gets up and sees Peggy following her to the altar where a faithful chair with a symbol in the center imbued with green magic sits. The trailer. Followers begin to arrive surrounding Steve Rogers. Why wouldn't they already be there? The Green Witch is revealed to be Death. Bullshit. I cannot believe that people bought this. Time out. I saw YouTube videos. I saw clips of YouTube videos where there's people on this platform, I'm not going to name names, who are actually buying this, bro. So you're telling me they're, after not having Lady Death in any of the Thanos appearances, you're telling me they're going to introduce her now as one of Doom's witches? Death is literally like a representation of a goddess, and you're telling me that she's going to be one of Dr. Doom's witches. Like, no, dude, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that. No, listen, no. Even if she was in Agatha, right? Why would she be working for Doom? Like that part, I understand. Like Agatha working for Doom, you know. I have to finish watching Agatha, by the way. Even Real to Real told me that it was good. All right. Doom arrives with James. The boy is crying. As Doom's followers restrain Steve, Doom begins to speak to him, explaining that his interference was the reason for his downfall. Victor tells Steve that he was much like him, a family man. This right here, I believe, is going to happen in the movie. I do believe this is going to happen in the movie. Victor studied the multiverse long before it began to collapse. I think that also checks. He met his wife, Valeria, and they had a son. Then one day, 10 years ago, during a routine experiment, an anomaly occurred when Loki transported Steve to Earth 828, causing the experiment to fail. That tracks. All of this is tracking so far. This resulted in the deaths of his wife and son and left him horribly disfigured. Okay. He grabs James and stabs him, killing him instantly. Do you actually believe that the Walt Disney Corporation is going to put out a movie that's going to get a PG-13 rating of a 10-year-old boy getting stabbed. If Doom, like, fired a blast at him or something, okay. I can kind of see that. But he stabs him. Come on. Come on. He might kill him, but he stabs him. Did you step out of the stream, bro? Like, did you step away for a minute? Come on, man. I'm skeptical, dude. The three witches present with Boris. The three witches are Death, green, the Ancient One, orange, and Clea, purple. And Boris wears a three-eyed helmet with armor. Well, where the hell's Wanda? Isn't Wanda going to be one of the witches? That's the Scarlet Witch. What the fuck? Yeah, but that's different from a movie, bro. That's going to get a fucking R rating. No, he uses a sword. He has a sword, not a knife. If it's a sword, it would make more sense. This is what I thought, Brother E. Hold on. Brother E says Wanda is the orange. That's what I thought. That's what I thought the whole time. Okay. Doom personally ripped Loki's heart from his chest. Now his heart's on display along with some books. Okay, that's a leak. Victor corrupted Strange and Clea when they traveled to the Dark Dimension, making them believe that only he could save the multiverse. That tracks with with Secret Wars, the comics. Victor sits on his throne preparing his team and the Doom boss to fight the invaders. He orders Strange to begin casting a spell from the book using both Loki's heart and Wanda Maximoff's magic. Okay, so that's what he does with Wanda. Well, why wouldn't she be a fucking witch? Doom's followers are the leaders of each destroyed universe. You think so? But there's a lot of destroyed universes. No, bro. He uses a sword. Like, I don't know about the image you saw. But he uses a sword. I don't know if she's pregnant in Secret Wars, but I think in real life she's pregnant, bro. Isn't Elizabeth Olsen pregnant? Yeah, I agree with this. I actually don't think it's that bad of an idea, though. Yeah, I think Elizabeth Olsen's actually pregnant for real. Victor's main objective here is simple: to allow the final incursion to occur and rebuild the multiverse to resurrect his lost family. If Victor's entire goal was to allow the multiverse to incursion to happen, then why is all this shit happening? You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm skeptical. I'm very, very skeptical. I think Boris is Strange, and I don't think Doom subdued Strange. I think Strange voluntarily joined Doctor Doom. I think that Doctor Strange voluntarily joined Doom like he did in the comics because he thinks that he's the only guy who can save the multiverse. I think when Strange used the Time Stone to look into the future and see who the savior would be, that he saw Tony Stark's face and thus thought it was Tony Stark, but it was actually Doom. That's a twist that is not in this fucking plot leak, I'm sure. And like that would actually make some sense. You know what I mean? That Doom actually thinks that, or Strange actually thinks that Doom is the right guy. So if he's gonna allow the incursion to happen, then what is all this? Then why are they wasting time though? Why are they wasting time with this? Like, why is Doom wasting all this time? Why didn't he just go to Earth 1005 and grab Wanda there? Like, there's just a lot of stuff that's missing here that doesn't make sense. I do think that Victor does want to rebuild the multiverse. I think that is going to happen, but there's got to be more to it. On Earth 616, Sentry begins to sense something. There's Sentry. Everyone was asking about him. Here you go. Between Earth and the approaching next Earth. He unexpectedly encounters Vision with Tommy and Billy at the Avengers town. Visions with Tommy and Billy. Is that because of what happens in Vision Quest? Vision activates Tony Stark's protocol for all the world's heroes and realizes that preventing the invasion is impossible. Incursion. Wait a minute. So, who is all the world's heroes? Like, who is that? I guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, on Earth 828, the heroes arrive in Latveria from the Baxter Building, while Thor and his new Valhallan army arrive on from Earth 616. Dr. Doom and his team have prepared for this attack. Doom's followers and hundreds of Doombots are present. Deadpool returns, abandoning the heroes on Earth 10005. He arrives with a multiversal team, Blade, Elektra, and Phantom Rider. What? Phantom Rider? Like from Ghost Rider? I don't believe it. There's no way they would just introduce Phantom Rider just like that. Unless they actually mean Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? Because Phantom Rider is basically like, I think if I remember right, it's like it was like basically Ghost Rider on a horse, right? And so, I don't know, bro, that would be something, but I don't know if I believe that. This could be true. This could be true. Phantom Rider is a version of Ghost Rider, but he rides a horse instead of a motorcycle. He was in one of the Ghost Rider movies also. Sam Elliott played him, who I think is still alive, bro. I actually hope that Blade is in this. Remember, we're not done yet. A multiversal war erupts in Latveria, putting the inhabitants of Wakanda, Thor's army, the Avengers, and Fantastic Four against the Doombots and their variants. This, I think, is going to happen, and I like it. I like it a lot. This is going to be the third act of the movie. I do believe we're going to see something like this. I really do. Namor and Shuri work together. Namor triggers a tsunami that destroys many Doombots. Shuri managed to infiltrate Doom's castle with Bucky to rescue Steve Rogers. Doctor Strange is the only member of Doom's team not involved in the event, as he's busy working on a spell involving Wanda, Loki's heart, and the Book of God. Talk about the Word of God. Two of Doom's followers are watching Steve Rogers, and again, no other leak talked about this until until San Diego Comic-Con revealed it. So once again, they're taking stuff from the leaks. I'm not buying this, dude. Two of Doom's followers are watching Steve Rogers when they are intercepted by the Avengers, Shuri and Bucky, who rescue him. Okay. The action then shifts to Earth 616, where it becomes clear that something is happening. The sky turns red, and hordes of Doombots and villains begin attacking New York City. Oh, so there's a fight in New York City also. That would be kind of cool. They pass through a portal wormhole, and a scene similar to the one in 2012 Avengers movie unfolds. The new Avengers team defends Avengers Tower. Sentry, Spider-Man, Jean Grey. There's Jean Grey. Spider-Man, Tom Holland, Jean Grey, Punisher, and the Defender. Do you really think that the Defenders are in this movie, bro? You can't be that gullible. There's no way. There is no motherfucking fucking way that a content creator can read this and actually think it's true. There's no way. There's no way. There's just no way. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. If you fucking... No, it gets worse. Hold on. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Wong, America Chavez, what the fuck is she gonna do? Cassie, Kate, Kamala, Star-Lord, Vision, She-Hulk, Hulk, Carol arrives with the Guardians of the Galaxy and many others. They all heard Vision's call. Do you actually believe that She-Hulk, after the fucking actress, whatever her name is, quit fucking Disney completely, you really believe she's back for this movie, bro? There's just no way. There's no way. Like, people can't be this gullible. Sentry, Spider-Man, Jean Grey, Punisher, and the Defenders. So does that mean that Daredevil's been broken out of jail? Wong, American Chavez, Cassie, Kate, Kamala, Star-Lord, Vision, She-Hulk, Hulk, Carol arrives with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Bro, the Guardians of the Galaxy are probably not going to be in this at all. And many others, including villains, they all heard Vision's call. The attack on Earth 616 begins. Vision states that the next Earth is about to launch a direct attack. Sentry decides to perform a heroic act by flying into space to stop the attack with his bare hands. He buys time for others to escape. I think he probably means incursion. The war in New York is wreaking havoc throughout the city. Everyone's fighting Doombots and costume followers of Doom. Spider-Man and the other heroes deliver excellent action sequences. Well, no duh. On Earth 828, Sue, Franklin, and Charles are aboard Reed's ship, the Ark, prepared to withstand any change in a hostile environment and capable of surviving the collapse of the multiverse. So that's the life raft, is basically what they're talking about, the life raft. Sue stays behind. She's pregnant. Charles acts like a mental link with all the mutant Avengers so they can communicate with each other and informs them that Bob is slowing down Earth so they can escape. That I like. I actually would like to see that. There, Yelena speaks with Bob and he says goodbye to her and her friends. Also, he sacrifices himself. One of the witches intercepts his message and teleports to the ship, killing Charles Xavier. Oh my God, bro. Killing Charles Xavier, bro. I thought maybe they would wait for Secret Wars at least, but nah. Nah. They'll bring him back in that one and he'll die there again. Poor guy. Like I say, he's died more times than Krillin. He's died more times than Doctor Strange did in his movie with the Dormammu won a bargain scene. Yeah, okay, there's something else too. Didn't one of the previous leaks reveal that Sentry activates the Void and that Xavier calms him down? Remember, Xavier supposedly activates the Void Sentry loses control and becomes the Void and Xavier uses his power to shut off the Void. Why is that not in this leak? Bro, what a bunch of... I cannot believe people actually bought this as real. I can believe some of the stuff, but not that. So they kidnap Sue and Franklin. Cyclops, Reed, Sam, and Magneto realize what's happening and go to the ship to protect them, but they arrive too late. Well, where the fuck were they during this fucking part, bro? The Avengers, Johnny, Ben, Thor, Loki, Lady Thor, and the Avengers of the Multiverse are at Doom's castle and emerge victorious in the war against the Doombots and their followers. Doom fights them all, defeating them one by one. This scene right here, if it's true, is going to make me come hard, bro. I'm going to come hard if that scene is real. Steve tries to strike Doom with Mjolnir and it shatters. Bro, I'm going to come hard at that. Yeah, I know, bro. Didn't you hear the part that I said that everybody comes back to life from Valhalla? Thor prays and she comes back to life in Valhalla, remember? That's why she's there. You weren't paying attention. Bucky sacrifices himself to save Steve, dying and bidding him farewell. Honestly, I'm okay with that. There's nothing else for that character to do, bro. They've been trying to find like stuff for Bucky to do forever. I don't like that Doom is getting from 828. They need to somehow show Tony is a variant of Doom. Yeah, they will. That's why he's from 828. He's from 828 for that reason, bro. But I don't think they're going to reveal that till the next movie. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. 3 witches killed the Ghost Rider. So I guess it's not Phantom Rider, it's Ghost Rider now. And Doom's follower fights Elena, Shuri. Shuri manages to defeat her but dies from her wounds. Thor looks into the sky, closes his eyes, and receives Odin's call. The new armor and new power. Yellow armor with yellow thunder rival Doom in battle. Wait a minute, so he becomes Rune King Thor? Are they really going to do that in this movie? Wouldn't it make more sense if they did that in the next one? Thor takes the initiative in this fight. However, at a certain point, Thor begins to lose his power, and his strength starts to dwindle as Doom drains it to absorb it. He defeats Thor by cutting off his hand with his sword and defeats all the Avengers. I actually feel like this is familiar. Did he cut off Thor's hand in the comics too? Like, I don't know. That sounds familiar to me, though. Like, I've seen that before, or I've read that before. It doesn't ring a bell. Reed's ship automatically activates and leaves Earth 828. Reed, calling for Sue and Franklin, is unable to save them. The Sentry crashes and the worlds begin to collide. The heroes simply ran out of time. Strange completes the spell just in time. Of course he does. With this, Victor is finally able to alter the multiverse. Thus, reality ceases to exist. 2 Earths collide. The screen fades to black and Doom appears in white armor seated in a chair next to Doctor Strange. The end. Okay. The screen fades to black and Doom appears in white armor. That, I think, is probably real. But that's more of a guess than a leak. And him sitting next to Doctor Strange was that was a leak from like 2 years ago. That was an old ass motherfucking leak. As we can see, the post-credit scene of the Spider-Man movie echoes the ending of the Judgment Day movie. Wait a minute, what Judgment Day movie, bro? Terminator? You mean Doomsday? Judgment Day, bro? We're talking about Terminator 2 Judgment Day? Is the T-1000 going to be in this movie too, bro? Did Doctor Doom, bro, that would be so awesome if Doctor Doom recruited the T-1000, Frieza, and fucking a Darkseid. Fuck it, bro. Just fuck it. Fuck this shit. Yeah, I think some of that's real, but most of it's fucking fake, bro. I'm sorry. I know some people want that to be real. I can't buy it. I can't buy. I mean, I can buy some of it. Again, I can buy some of it. Some of it sounds legit. Like the whole thing about Sentry, like using his power to push back the Earth. I can see that. I can see that being a thing. Doom beating up all the Avengers. I can see that. Rune King Thor shouldn't be till the next movie, but maybe they will do it. There's no way that She-Hulk and the Defenders are in this movie, bro. Yeah, I agree with Dragon Slayer. But I do think some of this is real, though. I do think some of this is real. I think the Avengers, in this movie, what's going to happen is, wait a minute, hold on. Good Life. Jay wrote this earlier. I didn't even see it, bro. Yelena had a picture of Natasha that fell out when they were fighting. I mean, that's not in the leak. Is that a different leak you're talking about? No, man, I'm skeptical as hell, bro, because like I just don't think that like some of that stuff is real. I do think some of that stuff is real. I think Spider-Man is gonna be. Oh, is that what you thought? Brand New Day and not Judgment Day? Well, bro, Brand New Day and Judgment Day are two totally different things. That's not even the same, like, even similar stuff. I like how it's Brand New Day and then Doomsday, bro. Well, that's the thing, though. They just brought the writers over and they're doing reshoots right now. Remember, they're doing reshoots right now, so they could put them in. I think that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to be in this movie only in the third act. I think he will appear, but he won't have a big role. That's what I think. But I do think some of it is real. I do think some of it is real, but not all of it. Not even close. Especially the third act. I do think that... No, it doesn't rhyme if it's the same word, bro. You can't rhyme day and day, bro. That's not a rhyme. If it's the same word, it's not a rhyme. No. Here's the thing. I think the third act of this movie is going to be the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Wakandans all fighting in Latveria. I think that's going to happen. I think there's a possibility that Doctor Doom himself gets out there and fights too. I don't know about Hulk and She-Hulk for sure I don't know about. They might have Hulk in it. He's in none of the trailers, but they might have him in it. Any hero that's not in the trailers is going to appear later in the film. I think the movie is going to have... I do think Deadpool's in it. I think that's true. And I think I think anybody who you see in the trailers and the TV spots, right? Anybody who you see in those things, I think they're going to be the main characters of the movie. Like, we're going to be following their story. But I don't think you're going to see, like, Spider-Man and Hulk. But you have to remember trailer trickery. Remember trailer trickery. Sometimes they'll show you a scene and delete people and you can't see them when they're actually there. You know what I mean? Deadpool's in it. I don't think he's not, but I think he has a smaller role than people realize. I'm not sure about him showing up with Blade and shit, maybe. But wait, let me ask you something. How the fuck okay, think about this for a minute. If the final battle, if it's down to just two universes, 828 and 616, where the fuck did fucking Deadpool get Blade and fucking Ghost Rider from, bro? Are they all just in the void now? He just went there? Is that what he did? Like, I mean, that could be. I'm not saying it's not. It's just weird. Well, then why didn't he go to the void and then get all the Lokis? You know what I'm saying? Like Alligator Loki or whatever, bro. Why didn't he do that, bro? Why didn't he go to the void and get Jean Grey and fucking Famke Janssen or whatever and fucking whatchamacallit? Halle Berry, bro. Listen, bro, let me show you something. I wish that this woman was in fucking Doomsday, bro. Listen, bro, listen to me. When fucking... Look, I'm just gonna say this. When when X-Men came out in theaters, X-Men 2000, I was a teenager. Man, I was fucking... My flagpole was at full salute during this movie. You know what? That's true. He should have got Goliath. By the way, I saw a video. Exactly. This is exactly my point, Drew. I saw a video that was like supposed to be like about Goliath and about like the TVA and everything, right? And they called them Alioth, and that's how I knew it was AI. You can always tell when it's AI if the voice can't pronounce Goliath, so it said Alioth. So, bro, X-Men 2000 has Famke Janssen, Halle Berry, and whatever the fuck the rogue chick is. She was pretty attractive in that movie. Only in that movie, though. You know what? That's a good point. Whatever happened to Moon Knight? Whatever happened to Moon Knight, bro? Moon Knight's not in this movie. But neither are the fucking Defenders. I don't care what that plot leak said. The Defenders are not in that damn movie, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. She-Hulk, bro. You know what, bro? If She-Hulk gets like stepped on by a fucking Sentinel, I wouldn't be mad. But you would think that she would push him off. I'd rather have Moonlight over the Defenders. You mean Sailor Moon, bro? You might as well put her in this, bro. Someone needs to write up a fake, bro. Someone needs to write up like a fake plot leak, right? And then when you get to the last paragraph, be like, then Sailor Moon, Ash, Pokemon, or Ash and his Pokemon, Goku, and I don't know, the Death Note guy, whatever his name is, show up. Some bullshit like that, bro. Huh. You think? You think? I'm still trying to figure out why I even watch Hawkeye. Anyway, yeah, Paddington, bro. He should be Winnie the Pooh, bro. You know what? You'll find out later this year, because I got that video coming out later this year. You will find out when this movie comes out, because I got a video coming out very soon. Bro, he's going to pull out a Blue Eyes Green Dragon, or whatever the fuck that version shit fucking... That version shit Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. Anyways, I gotta get out of here, bro. It's 2:18 in the morning. I have no problem hanging out. That was a good time, even though I don't believe it. I think that they're gonna do a lot more of the wacky shit in Secret Wars. Like, I could see like Defenders maybe in Secret Wars in a cameo, but I don't think so. I don't think that's happening here. Yeah, Jin Woo, that's it, bro. That's the guy from what's that show? Solo Leveling, bro. Anyways, I'm getting out of here, yo. Have a good one. Take care of yourself. Have a good night. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. in 12 hours is The Mandalorian with Jordan. Hopefully his internet won't fuck up. Take care of yourself and each other.